Hey everybody, it's Sarah the Northwoods Stitcher. I'm going to show you how I finish off these perforated plastic ornaments that I've been stitching on the fox and the cabin. I've done 6 of each. When I got this book from Craftway's Heart of the Holidays, on the inside they had bonus little 12 design pattern book. And I picked the little fox that was on the cover and the little log cabin. Those are the ones that attracted me the most. And I thought these were great for sticking inside of cards and giving as gifts, as well as keeping some for myself. So I'll keep one of each and then I'll gift the rest. So hopefully I can show you with this awkward setup without too much shaking of the camera, what I'm gonna do to finish these off. So, in this issue of Craftways, I want to say it was 2022. 2022! Look at all the tabs I've got. I've got to stitch some more stuff in here. So here is stuff that I've got to purge and put away. And this is just extra perforated plastic. So this is by Darcy, 14 count mesh perforated plastic. Made in the USA. This is a pretty old sheet, but you can still buy perforated plastic on different websites. I will put that in its proper place and use that to kit something else up. And here, I've got quite a collection of stuff. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to try to figure out what kind of felt I want for the back of these, what kind of ribbon, and then I'll show you how I do that, or what I'm going to do with it. When I'm stitching these, if you're working on perforated plastic, you see how the edge can get uneven. You really want to cut it as straight or as uniform as possible, so you don't have these little plastic nibs here, because your floss will get caught on it and you'll get quite annoyed as you're stitching. So you do want to trim that down. I will trim these and I'll show you in the next segment. You leave one square showing, so that you have an edge. There are no holes, but you need to make sure when you cut that you don't go into a hole that holds a thread. So you want to make sure that you leave a space. I'll pull one a little closer after I trim up a few of them. And I'll show you what I do to the back of the felts, because you don't have any way to really sign or leave your initials in the front of the design. So on the back, when I put the felt on, I actually just embroider. It's pretty sloppy, but I'm not an embroiderer. I try to put in my initials in the year that I did it with just a piece of extra floss. So I do leave my floss out that I used for the pattern before I put it away. The other option too is, because I have this one row here showing, I could use this same dark green and whip stitch the edges with that same color green to hide the plastic if I want to. I'm not overly concerned about it, so I'm not going to bother to do that. So hang on, I'm just going to go grab the felt. So I should probably mention something about cutting. I use some really expensive Christmas tree shop scissors that were probably $1.99 back in the day. Oh, actually, no, these are Fiskars. Well, who knows where I got these. These are my junk scissors. And then I have fabric scissors or floss scissors. I'll use this on the felt. I'll use my crappy craft ones for the plastic. Some people use X-Acto knives for this, but I really find it a lot easier to manage the holes with big scissors, believe it or not. I can roll the plastic canvas rather than the scissors. So I'm going to be bending the plastic canvas around until I feel that whole area that I need to cut in. If you do nick a hole that has floss in it, don't worry, just stick some glue on it. Just make sure that it's a clear glue, or glue that's going to dry clear. If you have some sharp edges, you can just round it out with a quick cut. Not too close. You can see I did not cut through the edge. These are pretty nice. That's all the cabins. I've got 4 more foxies to do. And I told you I was going to get the felt out, and I haven't. So I will go get the felt out and finish up these cute little foxes. I'll be back. I found some felt. This is a massive pack that I picked up. It says from Michael's. Not sure how long I've had this. It's very, very thin. So I think it'll be fine. What I've done is I've cut a few pieces, not measured by any means. I just kind of placed the ornament on top of the felt and cut out a section. I do want it to be bigger than the ornament, and you'll see why. And then I've stitched. It's so sloppy. I don't know anything about embroidery, but at least my initials and the year is on. When I did it a second time, lo and behold, it came out a lot clearer. So maybe I'm improving. Problem is I have to do 10 more of these. So I'm going to get that done, but I'm going to show you how I glue these. We'll let these sit for a bit and harden up. I found some ribbon that I like. And this is just a pack of ribbon that has 3 different colors on it. I'm going to use the brown. Gone ahead and cut off 4 about the same length. I don't want to have a knot in these ornaments, so I am going to fold it and glue it to the back, just so. So it's going to be in the center of his head. What I'm going to do is place it that way, let it dry, and then I will take the good scissors and I will trim around the edge. And it's really nice because the stuff is so forgiving. You can bend it to really get the scissors in at an angle so you don't have too much. And remember I said that this is definitely showing that I have that clear border around with the perforated plastic. I don't mind that, but feel free to whip stitch it in the same color that your last row was in. So I could use a dark green to stitch around that. I would probably try, this was done in 2 strands, so I'd probably try to do 2 strands for good coverage. It's a lot of pulling through a hole that already has thread in it, so I know from experience it's not comfortable on my hand to do it. And I'm okay with this because I think that helps define where the fox is, and it's almost like an extra border to help make it show a little bit better. So when I glue these things, I don't really use the tip. I use my finger. I get really messy. I put the glue on the ornament, not on the felt. I'm going to place it down. I use the butt end of a paintbrush. I just kind of put it on here, and then I start smearing it around with my fingers. I use an awful lot, but I really want it to get to the edges, because that's where you don't want it to curl away from your ornament. And this way, if I have any extra, I can just move it to the next ornament. I did get myself into trouble once. I put this part in my mouth while it had glue on the end, and I didn't have my hair up in a scrunchie. And I leaned down and I got the brush stuck in my hair. I couldn't see how bad it was. I had to go running downstairs. My husband's in his office working. I had to interrupt him and say, "Help! Rescue me!" I really thought we were going to have to cut something out, but he was able to free my hair with some hot water and a lot of laughing. I'm glad he found it funny. So I didn't get much on me. That's a miracle. I'm going to fold this. I'm going to stick this right there. Look how easy it is. It just stays there. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to flip it over. Ta-da! And I can position this ribbon a little bit better. This glue is going to dry clear. There's no glue on the back part of that ribbon, so it won't glue to the felt. I'll just set that one aside. Do the same one for the next one. Now my little assembly line starts, you see. This is actually too short. That was the first one I cut. I have a little basket that I stick all the scraps in. But you never know what you're going to need a little scrap of ribbon for. Maybe on the edge of a card even. It's much easier to spread it around with a tool like your finger or a stick. Any kind of craft glue will do. I happen to use the Eileen's original tacky. I got too much. Ugh, don't get messy. It's nice and close to the edges. Take off some of the excess. Make sure I like that. Plop. Now let's see about this ribbon. That's going to be great. Pop that on. I've got a little piece of ribbon showing on this one. I'm just going to tuck it in the back. And I'll give this some time to dry. I have obviously cut this before. That looks like a big piece. This might have been something that my father actually bought for doing his stockings at Michael's. I don't really recognize this as being one of my purchases. I'm not very careful to measure because I save all my little scraps, really. I'll cut a little section out. I bet you I can get the next 3 on here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'll know where to cut. There's 1. Two, 3. And let's go along the seam here, because seams are always a bother. Then 6 cabins. I don't think I can get 2 on here. Maybe. Nope. It's okay. I'll save the little piece. I'm going to have to go to another table, I think, to... Well, maybe I can do it here. It's actually fairly straight. It's amazing. Let me fold this up. This is a perfect video for me to make, because right now my hair is up in a hair towel. I did everything backwards today. I went out at the hottest point of the day to do some yard work. Ugh, it was so gross out there. But I had fun with my new chainsaw. My husband bought me an electric chainsaw because I'm afraid of the gas ones. They're just too noisy, too scary. But my electric one is fantastic. I made fast work out there. The only problem is it's easier to cut stuff down than it is to clean up. But it sure was hot out there. So then I took a shower. I had a quick yogurt. Oh, come on, I can figure this out. I got it. Ooh, it's like a Jenga puzzle. Put that one. I think I'm going to leave this piece like that. Might be too tricky to... I glue it like this and then cut it. Might be too tricky to cut here and then try to line it up. So I'm going to do it that way. I am going to disappear for a little bit, clean up this mess, let those two dry. I've got to do all of the initials and the ears on the back of this. I still have to clean up my chainsaw. Then I'll come back and play with you guys again. It'll probably be a brief second. Oh, don't cut it, Sarah, don't. A brief second for you guys and maybe 30 minutes for me. And we'll come back and finish up this project together. Got some cleaning to do. Okay, got a couple of these dry. Actually, they're all dry. I've been trimming on some of them using my fabric scissors and floss scissors to just go tight up to the edge. And then when I get to the ribbon, I pull the ribbon back. I just trim as close as I can. There we go. If you don't like the back, you can trim with an angle to your scissors and just cut them the way you like it. This has some harder angles on it. The fox does. So I'm going to trim straight across. I've got a couple of little V's. I will work on those from the back. So I've got a V here, a V there, and a V here. I'm going to make sure I pull my ribbon down and just cut in at an angle. I can still see something here. No, I can't see it. All right, let me clean up my space, cut a few more. All right, now I'm stretch. 2 more pieces, 2 more ornaments. You know, these little scrap pieces, if you're doing a dark colored pillow, you can use them for stuffing. It's a little uneven. That's better. Last one. This was part of my stitching challenge from the Soulful Stitcher, Melanie. So I will be sure to post these. So I finished 2 of my 6 challenges. And then store them away. Again, these little corner pieces are a little annoying. Well, the great thing is you can really bend the plastic to get in there. This is when I wish I was ambidextrous. Much better. Let's get in here. I do believe my scissors are getting a bit dull. So I don't remember struggling this much. I'm awful pleased I remembered to put my initials on the back of all of these. So, got my initials on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Feeling accomplished. This is great. I'm going to try to edit this video, make sure I can zoom in for you guys. Thanks for watching and hanging out today in the craft room. This is just exciting. I'm so glad this one's over. I've got some more ornaments on the go too, so I'll be sure to show those at some point. But now you know how I work with the plastic canvas. And I really do think it's okay with the border of the plastic showing, but again, you know, feel free to do what makes you happy. And if you'd like to cover that up, just do a little whip stitch piece around the edge. It'll actually give it some dimension too, because it'll probably make it a little 3-dimensional. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Happy stitching and be safe.